Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 Word and to the race watch along for the 2018 Brazilian Grand Prix. Now, straight off the bat, I need to say this. As some of you will know on Twitter and those that have checked out the community tab here on YouTube, PC issues are rearing their ugly head again, so I am going to give this race watch along a go, but if it crashes at any point, I will try and restart it, but if I can't get it going again, then it might be a very short race watch along, but fingers crossed and knock on every single bit of wood I can get my hands on. Don't. Everything should be working okay for this one. And of course, I'll be live again at 8 p.m. with Jonty and with Chamber for the post-race stream. As always, how are we all doing in chat? Are we looking forward to this race? It's going to be a good one. Really looking forward to this. Always do for Brazil. Qualifying yesterday removed the controversy and it was still a very good session, very exciting, lots going on. So we've got a very nice grid as well with the likes of Charles Leclerc, Marcus Ericsson right in the mix. We've got cars out of position like Daniel Ricciardo. We could be set for a decent race and, according to the official weather report, rain is a possibility. So yes, it's going to be hopefully a really good race this afternoon, and I'm looking forward to just chilling for the next hour and a half or so with you guys, provided the PC works okay, of course, and just watching the race and having a good discussion along the way. I will say the disclaimer, you know what's going to come. There's no race footage in this stream. That's all I'm doing from now on. But yes, we will get some predictions in a minute. I did do some predictions in the qualifying report. Apologies, by the way, for that being so late up. That was another victim of the PC problems, just very, very slow this morning. But your grid for this afternoon for a race which kicks off or lights out in 15 minutes. Let's not talk about kickoff because things aren't really going my way in the football either this afternoon. So it's not been a brilliant day all round. But Lewis Hamilton will be starting on pole position ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Both of them avoiding penalties. Avoiding penalty sounds a bit awkward, but you know what I mean. Yesterday, after qualifying, Vettel did get a fine and a reprimand for that incident at the Weybridge, though. But it does set us up very nicely for Hamilton versus Vettel into turn one. And that is fine by me from a racing perspective. Let's not get into FIA inconsistencies. That's one for maybe another day, possibly even Wednesday's stream with Alex. And I'm thinking Dan, I haven't actually confirmed that with him yet, but Bottas is third place, Kimi Räikkönen in fourth. Both of the Finns looking a little bit off the pace of their teammates this weekend. Bit of a surprise, really. Max Verstappen, again, best of the Red Bulls in fifth place, did so after qualifying anyway, despite the penalty that Ricciardo had to take. Marcus Ericsson, therefore, promoted to sixth. He already made it a career best seventh on the grid. He now starts sixth. That's Marcus Ericsson on the third row of the grid. Unbelievable. Fantastic lap in qualifying. Equally so, Charles Leclerc, unbelievable lap on a damp track in Q2 to end up in 7th place. Fantastic lap from him. Grosjean has looking good this weekend. He will start 8th. Gasly in 9th. Magnussen is in 10th place. He will round out top 10. Keep an eye on him. Definitely keep an eye on him. Also keep an eye on Daniel Ricciardo. Penalties dropped him to 11th place on the grid. You would expect, all being well, that he would probably make his way back to 6th at worst, but you never know. You never know. It's very close around him. 12th for Perez, 13th for Hülkenberg. Really bad weekend so far for Renault. Not impressed with them at all. Probably they're not overly impressed themselves, to be honest. 14th for Sirotkin. Great performance to get himself out of Q1 yesterday, to the point where Williams had to get into push on his Q2 out lap because they didn't expect him to get through Q1 and so didn't have any tyres ready for him to go out. So that is I quite like that story. And I guess with all due respect to Williams, I don't think any of us really expected him to get out either. So great lap from him. Carlos Sainz, he was knocked out in Q1 in 15th. Hartley 16th. Alonso up to 17th after Ocon was demoted, if you like, to 18th after he had to take a gearbox penalty. 5 places of him. Lance Stroll 19th. And once again, poor Stoffel Van Dorn down there in 20th place on the grid. Yes, I didn't put a graphic in for that, by the way. It's been a bit of a mad rush to see if we can get this one working. But predictions, I guess. I did do some predictions in the qualifying report. I've got a good feeling about Ferrari today. Yeah, I think no soft tyres. It's all going to come down to the start, really, isn't it? If we're thinking about it. If they get a decent start, then they should be sitting pretty in terms of strategy. Can do the one-stop soft to the medium tyres, so should be okay there. But, of course, Bottas, Hamilton, they're around the Ferraris. They're both on the super soft tyres, so they should be, in theory, grippier off the line and therefore quicker in the early phase of the race. So it's all going to come down to that start. But I suppose, having said that, even if the Mercs are 1-2 into turn 1, Vettel's third, he just needs to stay with them, doesn't he, really? So we'll see. But they're going to run long on those soft tyres, super softs as well. Interested by the Red Bull strategy. That could be an interesting one, but I do reckon Max Verstappen has got a great shot of third place. I think I put him there as well. So I'm going for Vettel, Hamilton and Verstappen on that podium. I think I've probably ruined it now. There's going to be a lot of Vettel fans will hate me for that now because I've just predicted him to win, so he'll probably crash out in turn 1 or something. I just ruined it for him. So not great with the predictions, but I bought them back for the last couple of races because a lot of people were pushing me for it. So I've done that. I think Hamilton's probably going to get fastest lap as well. Driver of the day will go to Ricciardo if he gets a load of overtaking done, because it tends to go to the person that gets the most overtaking done, or Verstappen. And it'll... I'm joking. And what else did I say? 16 finishes, about 4 retirements. So not chaos, but I think we'll get a few bits as well. So could be interesting. Are there a couple of your questions while we're hovering about? Max Claydon, did you see Glock on Sky? I did. Poor guy. It's been 10 years and he's still not leaving him alone on it. Interesting looking back at that Grand Prix. You forget, I think the official F1 channel did the 10-year anniversary stream, didn't they? And showed the race in full. That was absolutely fantastic to watch. Great to get the whole F1 community together in one stream, sort of 40,000 people there watching something that we all knew the result to, but we were all probably sat there on the edge of our seat wondering if it was any different to when we watched the first time round. And it didn't. It was no different, of course. But fantastic race. Pressure all the way through. Drama all the way through. And hopefully we'll get something similar this afternoon. There is a title on the line, of course, in Brazil this weekend. That is the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari, 13 points. I think if Mercedes outscore Ferrari by 13 points, then they, or 12 points, something like that, I don't know, something along those lines, they will win the title. But it's one of those, it's kind of like, even if this title goes to Abu Dhabi, it's going to need, there has to be a race where both Mercedes fail to score, I think is the way I'm trying to put it. If both Mercedes retire today and Ferrari get a 1-2, game on. Otherwise, I can't see it. And reverse in Abu Dhabi, of course. But yeah, they've just got Ted Kravitz on the grid having a look at back of Marcus Ericsson's car. Apparently lost a little bit of his diffuser. So whether or not they've been able to sort that one out, I hope so, because he was so good yesterday. It'd be great to see him go out this season on a high. What I would say, and don't worry Discord, I'm not slating him, but what I would say is it's a real shame this pace didn't come from Ericsson earlier in the year. And okay, you know, the car has developed over the course of the season. It wasn't there at the start of the season, full stop. But you look at what Charles Leclerc is doing with that car. If Ericsson had been doing that all along, he could well still be in that seat. And or somewhere. Williams might have snapped him up, for example. So, yeah, it would have been nice. I mean, I'm trying not to take anything away from him. Fantastic result to end up starting 6th, qualifying 7th. So, we shall see. Hopefully 7th, he could get 7th today. He's going to have a hell of a fight with his teammate. The Haas boys are quick as well, so maybe 7th. Obviously, Ricciardo coming through, but you never know. Couple of crafty safety cars, maybe an incident ahead or a mechanical issue, probably for Ricciardo. If we're being honest, that's a joke. I'm not being horrible, but yeah. Yes, it's... I don't know. We'll see. I'm just quite looking... I'm quite on the edge of my seat. Really looking forward to this one. I don't know about you guys, so... Simon Lazenby, 2 races from the sack, says Max. There's rumours flying around about him and Crofty all over the place a few weeks ago, weren't there? So it's going to be an interesting one. I'm trying to quick flick through some of your comments here, see what we've got. Yes, it was my computer crashing multiple times. It's okay. That's why the quality report was so late today. It was supposed to go up about 10 o'clock. That never happened. What was it, about 2? Something like that. So that kind of lets you know how frustrating it is. How many laps it is... Is it 71 laps today, I believe? Yes, 71 laps. Yeah, it is. Yeah, just double checking that one. But 71 laps today, so yeah, about an hour and a half in terms of racing. It looks like Sky getting ready for gearing up for the race to go. So super softs versus softs or medium for first stint. I think, to be honest, Morgan, I think there'll only be one stint, mate. I'm hoping for a bit of rain so we get a couple of pit stops, but I think there will only be the one-stop race. Some talk that Red Bull will go super soft to soft and be able to do the one-stopper that way. Mercedes, I don't know. Ferrari, of course, had those big degradation problems. A lot of graining, a lot of blistering in Friday practice. So whether they can make those last, I don't know. I would imagine they'll go soft to mediums as well. So hopefully, all good. Channel 4 ends at midnight, so people with school and work probably can't watch. It's ridiculous, isn't it? I don't know if they'll tweak that for next year. I did hear some talk that they were able to bring it forward slightly, but there's this window that Sky demand on having, or the rights holder demand on having between the live race and then any kind of highlights on another channel. So, yeah, for races like Brazil, Mexico, US, it's not ideal for those that don't want to pay for Sky, can't pay for Sky, anything like that. So, disappointing. This is going to be good, says Dogda Mogda. If I've said that right, that's a cool name. If I've said it wrong, then I'm so sorry. Anyone else watch Jenson Button win the GT 500 Championship? I didn't, but massive congratulations to Jenson Button. Never gets boring seeing him winning titles, does it? Top guy, still got it, obviously. Probably not Formula 1 level, but yes, he's still... I miss JB. I miss him. Hello, ST. Paying, question mark. All right, I'll try not to curse it. It's going to be a terrible race. But that's the music. The music just gets me every time. It's brilliant. Can you remember back to Australia when this was first revealed, this song or this tune, and everybody, and so many people were like, oh, this is awful. It's Pirates of the Caribbean. It's horrible. And then they put it with the video that we've just seen there, and you're sort of like, okay, this works. I quite like it. So, yeah. Yeah. Just having a look at some of the stats going on screen. Some good stuff on here. The 7-1, of course. Brazil. Yes. Best F1 theme. I still like... I know it's not the official F1 theme, but I still like The Chain by Fleetwood Mac on Channel 4. I still love that. I don't like this Skies Just Drive thing. But yeah, I do like the good stuff there. Where do you think Ocon will be? Says SVG. Do you mean in the race? In the race, I think he can get points. Bit awkward with Force India. I said it in the quali report. They're not consistently quick enough to be well in the top 10, but they're right on the cusp of it, if that makes sense. They're right on the cusp of the top 10 in terms of pace, or at least they were on Friday. So if you get a couple of retirements, or maybe if they play a good strategy with Ocon, I can see him 9th or 10th, but he's got to get some overtaking, and you can overtake in Australia. Fast forward is you can overtake in Brazil. You can't really overtake in Australia, but you can in Brazil, as they're showing us now on the official world feed. So, yes, he can do it. Anybody think Alonso might be one to keep an eye on? I've just got a feeling. A couple of races to go for him. Again, I'm not talking podiums or anything like that, but maybe 10th. Sneak a point. We know he's good at stuff like that. So, Justin Bieber. What's all the Justin Bieber stuff in chat? Sky have been using Just Drive for years. They've been using it since they got the rights, which I want to say was 2012. Just going through the grid now, so I'll go through it again for those that are just tuning in. Hamilton and Vettel on that front row, from Bottas and Raikkonen in behind. Actually, it was a lot closer than I remember it being, actually. Less than a couple of tenths between them. Verstappen in 5th, Ericsson in 6th. That is such a good sight. Bit of bias there for you, why not? Leclerc in 7th, Grosjean in 8th place. Rounding out the top 10 will be 9th place for Pierre Gasly, some pace in that Honda engine as well. And 10th place for Kevin Magnussen. Watch him coming through the field right behind his teammate as well, I suppose, on the grid. Ricciardo in 11th, he'll be quick. Perez in 10th. 13th place is Nico Hülkenberg, with Sergei Sorokin, one of the drivers of yesterday for me, in 14th in that Williams. 15th for Carlos Sainz. Brendan Hartley, birthday yesterday, didn't really go very well for him. He's down in 16th. Fernando Alonso 17th. And the guy we were just talking about, Esteban Ocon, there in 18th place. And then you've got Lance Stroll and Sergei Sorokin. I'm so used to say the Williams at the back. Stoffel Van Dorn bringing up the rear in 20th place. In terms of start tyres, let's have a look. Let's go to the watch on screen, actually. Thank you, as always, to the awesome folks over at Planet F1 for providing the live timing. Really do appreciate that. 2 races to go, but we'll try and get it back for Australia. So thank you very much, guys, for that one, and for all your support as well, I should say. I don't know if anybody's watching, but I'll get that in there as well. But your tyres. So, all of the top 10, except the Ferraris, are that's a lie. All of the top 10, except the Ferraris, who will be on soft tyres, and Kevin Magnussen, who starts on new, fresh soft tyres, are on used super soft tyres. Daniel Ricciardo is on used super softs because he got through to Q3 yesterday, so he's in 11th place. Sergio Perez will start on the super softs, and then Hülkenberg, Sorokin and Sainz are all on a fresh set of soft tyres. Brendan Hartley on the mediums. Yes, there you go, the only one. And then it's Alonso, Ocon, Stroll and Van Dorn all on the soft tyres. I'm ready for this. Deep breath. Possibility of light rain at the moment, according to Ocon's. Okay, that could be an interesting start. I could just on the live timing there, by the way. It looks like they're having some issues over at Planet F1. Everyone's already a lap down. Not a great start for Sebastian Vettel if he's a lap down already, but I'm sure that'll sort itself out. But yeah, could be some rain early on then. Give it a couple of laps. Give it a couple of laps, please, rain, and then just drop it. and then get everyone on tyres, give it 10 laps, dry up, and then give it 10 laps and rain again. That's what we like. That's what Brazil's about. So they're all off now on the formation lap. Vettel slow away, Sebastian Vettel, but he's got going now, so that's okay. He can regain his position. It's a good grid. It's a good grid. I do like that grid in Brazil. Vettel going back past there. Is that Raikkonen passing? Or is that Vettel making his way through? Is it inappropriate to hope for crashes and rain? I don't think it's inappropriate at all. Obviously, we don't want anybody getting hurt in crashes, but, you know, people would be lying if they said they didn't. I mean, they don't tune in for crashes, but you'd be, you know, you enjoy a crash every now and again as long as everyone gets away safely and everyone's okay. I'll keep an eye on that live timing. Hopefully everything goes all right, but it seems to be everyone's a lap down. So Lewis Hamilton is flying at the moment. He's lapped everyone and the lights aren't even out. That's what you call a good start. So the predicted pit stop strategy, that's a mouthful. Super soft to mediums, lap 18 to 26. And then soft to mediums, lap 21 to 29 for the first stop. So not a huge window that, you know. That's not a huge difference. If Mercedes go 18 laps and Ferrari have to pit on lap 21, that's only a 4-lap window. 3-lap window, sure. Maths, congratulations. That's not huge. That's not huge. So I think Vettel's regained his position, absolutely. Hamilton pulling away, obviously back everybody up now on this formation lap. Fingers crossed for a good one. Fingers crossed for a good one. Mercedes will take the Constructors' Championship title if they outscore Ferrari by 13 points. There we go. That's the official confirmation on the live feed now. Just coming through that corner that was made famous a little bit in qualifying, of course, yesterday. And Lewis Hamilton coming through Glock. That sounded really wrong. Apologies for that. Through Yum Shao. I was trying to make a really terrible Glock joke and it didn't work, and I apologise. The video says Quali Live Watch. It probably does. It probably does. I thought I'd updated everything. Thumbnail or the actual... Let's have a look. Let's see if we can change that thumbnail. Yes, it will do. Because I put the wrong thumbnail up. Thank you for that. That is being sorted now, hopefully. So that should all be okay. Thank you for pointing that out. Not my finest moment, I'll be honest. But yes, warming up now for this race start. Nice and slow. I love that grid. Just back half. Yeah. Back half a downhill. First half uphill. Yeah, we like that. There's Rubens Barrichello in the garage. A guy I do miss. Really nice guy, obviously. Very popular. Crowd love that one. Taking a while to form up. So the top 6 are on the grid. 7 as well now. So everyone getting there. Will Vettel get off the line okay? This is the question. This is a question. Why is it not showing 16 to 20? I think they've just got a little bit of an error. It'll sort itself out. I think it does it sometimes. I remember it doing it earlier in the season, so timing should sort itself out. They're not all a lap down, don't worry. That's Van Dorn lining up at the back of the grid, which means it's time for the lights. Green flag at the back. We've got 1 light, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lights. It's lights out and away we go. Much better start from Sebastian Vettel. He might be... Oh, he's going to have Bottas, though. Not a great start at all. I'm lying to you. Raikkonen gets a flyer. Vettel locks up. Ooh... Just about, and I think we're Mercedes 1-2. Yes, we are. Mercedes 1-2 as they come through those centre S's. Vettel's going to have to get that right. He locked up big time in turn 1. It looked like he got a good launch, but it didn't work out that way at all. And Bottas is having a real sneaky look at Lewis Hamilton. Will he go around the outside in turn 4? I highly doubt it, as they all bundle down there into 4. It looks like everyone's got through. Okay, we got somebody wide at the exit there, but Verstappen having a very good look here. As Kevin Magnussen, I said keep an eye on him. He's down in 20th now. I think he's had a spin. No, he hasn't. I don't know what's going on. The timing on screen on the official one is going absolutely bananas. But Max Verstappen having a good look at Kimi Raikkonen early on. So who was it that dropped down? Somebody went very wide out of turn 4. We've got the Renault squabbling in that midfield there. Daniel Ricciardo is up to P10. So Magnussen didn't drop to 20th. He's still P11. So I don't know what happened to the live timing there. It just went absolutely mad. Ericsson, not great down in 9th, but Charles Leclerc, 6th place for him. Solid start. Obviously from 7th, Grosjean 7th, Gasly 8th, Ericsson 9th, Ricciardo in 10th place, coming through now into the final corner, really, for all intents and purposes. So we've got, I'm just intrigued what happened in that fight in that first, or down in turn 4 at least, but it looks as though, yes, Just having a look here. That is Daniel Ricciardo having a very good look up the inside of Marcus Ericsson. He'll get that done. Is Ericsson still on his outside? No, he isn't. Daniel Ricciardo up into P9. He's on it, and now he's got Pierre Gasly just in front of it. Of course, the guy who will be replacing him at Red Bull next season. How tough will this be? That Honda engine has got some pull in it. Ericsson sees... I wonder if Ericsson's got a problem. I wonder if that diffuser or whatever was going on before is giving him some grief. Because he's just going backwards. And, Magnussen very wide through 4, trying to avoid the back of Ericsson. We've got a Renault having a look at Esteban Ocon. That is Carlos Sainz, not Esteban Ocon at all. I'm lying to you. It's Sergio Perez. Good race. The opening couple laps of Renaults again side by side. And that's Hulkenberg around the outside. What a move. What a move. And his Sainz is not having it. He's coming back at him. Sainz trying to come back. Renault still side by side. Great scrapping. Sainz just puts a little bit of squeeze on. But Hulkenberg's still going to try around the outside. That's 3 corners side by side for the Renaults. Has Hulkenberg got it done? Sainz is not giving up. Staying around the outside. A little bit of contact maybe. But Sainz locks up and Hulkenberg finally gets it done. They were side by side for about 5 corners. That is brilliant racing. Fantastic to watch. A bit more of that, please. And that's Max Verstappen having a go now at Kimi Raikkonen. And I think he has. Max Verstappen passes Kimi Raikkonen into turn 1. What happened to the power issues that Red Bull was suffering in qualifying? Because he's just gone through, but this from the Renaults was brilliant. Was the contact? A little bit of contact. Little bit of contact between the two of them, but that Red Bull flew past Raikkonen on the straight. What a cracking couple of laps. A bit more of that, please. Verstappen purple in the first sector, catching Vettel as well. The pace in that car. Race control, DRS is enabled. Wow, it looks like the live timing sorted itself out. The Planet F1 stuff, but wow, what a first couple of laps. Anybody watching, did you enjoy that Renault scrapping there side by side for 5 corners, I reckon it was. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. That's going to get talked about tonight. And Max Verstappen, have they changed the engine in that Red Bull? Have they got a Mercedes or Ferrari engine in it? Because all of a sudden, and I think he's going to have DRS as well, he might, I'm just going to watch this, he might be on his way past Sebastian Vettel. Can we watch that, please? He's got the toe, he's coming in. Is he going to go for it? He's going to have a little look, and he does go down the inside with a bit of a dive bomb, and I think he's made it stick, and he has. Max Verstappen, stand up and take a bow. 1:13.7 from Ricciardo, fastest lap. Super quick from Max Verstappen up there into 3rd place. Let's have a look here. Vettel. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Just kept a wheel on the track there to get that done. But Ferrari, where's that? Is it these soft tyres that are causing the problems for Ferrari? Really struggling. Well, it must be the tyres. Where's Ferrari's pace gone? So we're watching Kimi Raikkonen now. So Vettel locked up into turn 4, which almost allowed... And Kimi Raikkonen did go through. So is Raikkonen ahead of him then? Yes, he is. I missed that. Sorry, guys. Raikkonen has gone past Vettel. So Vettel locked up into turn 4, and that allowed Vettel through. Max Verstappen's flying. He's on the back of Bottas now. DRS2, he's not going to throw it up the inside there, but wow, what a start. That's brought him right to play. And Daniel Ricciardo having a look at Charles Leclerc, dive bomb done. Red Bull, 3rd and 6th, and absolutely flying. Wow. I'm going to quite have a drink now. That was an exciting few laps. Yeah, so just looking at a replay, Vettel's launch wasn't all that bad, just Bottas got the better one, so did Raikkonen. Verstappen down the outside in turn 1. Vettel's lockup didn't ever look like he was going to hit anybody with that one. I just wondered from the other angle if he might have done, but Verstappen's got through Raikkonen at that point. Vettel gets a run at Bottas, but doesn't really get close enough. Bottas has a look at his teammate, but that was never going to go anywhere. Then Raikkonen gets side by Verstappen to turn 4. Obviously, Verstappen comes out on top in that one. We're going to watch from Bottas's view now on the replay. So he does go down the outside of Vettel. That's a perfect start for Mercedes in terms of the constructors, because I think as it stands, that is the title for them. So few spots on his spots around his camera lens, nothing to worry about. It'd be nice if he could stay with the replay for more than just the first corner. Thanks, FOM. But Ericsson, what's going on with him? He's down. It's a contact. Little bit of contact with Romain Grosjean between Grosjean and Ericsson into turn 1. It's Pierre Gasly. Sorry, Brendan Hartley. His name's on the car, Sean. Pierre Gasly into turn 1. Good start. Oh, yes, there's definite damage to that Sauber. Some debris came off that one for sure. Oh, well. We're watching here. That's Daniel Ricciardo and Marcus Ericsson. Replay of that one. Let's have a look at your comments. I'll keep it. Red G says, I said Ferrari were on the wrong tyres. I'm starting to wonder that myself, mate. Yesterday in qualifying looked like absolutely the right call, didn't it? If we think back, we were all sort of praising that move. But it's not really worked out. Hulkenberg, 14th at the moment. Jose, I believe. Yeah, he's not pitted. I think Sainz has just got him back, or he's let Sainz through. I don't know, but nothing happened to Hulk. No. Yeah. Max Verstappen is right on the back of Bottas. He's 4 tenths behind. I wasn't expecting this at all. Let's see what he's got with DRS. And we've just seen what he's done to the Ferraris. So, Martin Brundle just saying that Red Bull basically gave up on Saturday and focused on setup for Sunday. It's paying off at the moment. Will he have a go, Max Verstappen? Bottas goes a little bit defensive. Not quite close enough for Verstappen, but if he gets a good exit from the centre S's, there's debris on the race, not on the racing line, it's on the outside. He might be all right there, actually. But I wonder if the stewards might want to throw a safety car out for that. I'd be a little bit frustrated because it's well off the racing line, but at the same time, we've seen what debris can do this year. Ask Valtteri Bottas in Baku. So, yeah, I'd understand if they decided to put something out, but I think that was well enough out of the way, to be honest. But Max Verstappen, super quick in that middle sector, and just, can we say just quick enough? Just quick enough on the straights. So, but I'm just on board with him now. I'm just going to watch him through this middle sector. Yeah, it's that middle sector. They're so strong, Red Bull. Obviously in, where the downforce is needed. But if he can get a good exit out of that final corner, he might be able to get Bottas. He was close last lap, but not by enough. In fact, he's a little bit further back this time round. 5 tenths rather than the 4. So he's lost a tenth. Clunked the curb a bit too hard there, but good exit. I just want to watch this. I'm hoping we stay on board for this one because I really want to see the difference in speed once he gets that DRS open. Yeah, he's not losing too much to Bottas, which is probably what's helping out. He's closing, but he's way too far back. Unless he just wants to throw it. He's having a cheeky look. Bottas just covered the line. Sends Verstappen wide, but that has compromised Bottas. Hamilton radio. Hamilton asking what tyres Verstappen is on. Being told the same ones as you, mate. Super softs. Yeah. Sirotkin, by the way, down to 18th place. I've run through the order for you while I'm just trying to keep an eye on Max Verstappen and anything else that's going on. But if you wonder about Lewis Hamilton, he's gone up front, 2.3 seconds clear of Valtteri Bottas. Max Verstappen third, Kimi Räikkönen fourth, and Sebastian Vettel in fifth place. Not really working on those tyres at the moment. Whether they're just looking after them a little bit, we will see. Daniel Ricciardo up to 6th already, and I think catching the Ferraris. He's kind of matching Vettel's pace at the minute, a little bit quicker than Raikkonen. Charles Leclerc in 7th, Romain Grosjean 8th, Pierre Gasly 9th, Marcus Ericsson there in 10th place, still in the points. Kevin Magnussen 11th, 12th for Perez, 13th for Sainz, 14th for Hulkenberg. Great scrap between them two. I want to see that again later. Fernando Alonso 15th, Brendan Hartley 16th, Ocon up 1 to 17th. It is Sergei Sirotkin in 18th, Lance Stroll 19th, and Van Dorn is still in 20th place. And the Ferraris look like they might be coming back at Verstappen a little bit here. And Verstappen not... Let's have a look. So, last lap's round, Verstappen 14.9. Yeah, definitely. Raikkonen 14.4 and Vettel 14.1. Ricciardo 14.3. So, is Verstappen just starting to get held a little bit behind Bottas in that dirty air? Although Bottas did a 14.5, so he was quicker than Verstappen. So, going to be interesting. Look at your comments there. Trying to keep an eye on them. Listen to Ted here on about the tyre strategy on Ferrari, saying about the long game. Ooh, Bottas lock-up. That might cost him a bit of time. A little bit of a lock-up there. That's going to allow Verstappen to be closer. He's within 4 tenths. So Verstappen coming back again at him. Yeah, this is interesting. Just watching this now. Verstappen looks closer this time round. He is definitely closer this time round. Now, what can he do with the DRS? There looks to be a bit of moisture on the camera lens. It might be coming from the back of Bottas, but I think Verstappen's going to go into turn 1 here. Bottas is going to go super defensive. He has to do. Verstappen's still going to have a look down the inside. Can he make it stick? He does. Max Verstappen passes Valtteri Bottas and into second place. And next up, 2 seconds down the road, is Lewis Hamilton. Good move from Verstappen. Oh, that's a good move. Good move. The Red Bulls are quick. What's Ricciardo doing? 8 tenths behind Vettel now, so he's closing in as well. 14.1 on the last lap, half a second quicker than Vettel. So watching that replay again, Bottas went defensive, but he didn't exactly cover the inside line at all. And now Raikkonen is right on the back of Bottas. Is he struggling with his tyres a little bit, maybe? Because Raikkonen's right on the back of him, Vettel's right on the back of Raikkonen, Ricciardo's right on the back of Vettel. We've got a bit of a train forming behind Valtteri Bottas here, so... this is interesting. I was not expecting this from Red Bull. I thought they'd be quick, and I did put Verstappen on the podium, but I didn't think we'd be seeing them, even with DRS, passing a Mercedes like that on the straights. And now what can he do against Lewis Hamilton? He's pulling away quite nicely now. 1.4 up the road already. Impressive. So what can Raikkonen do? We know how slippery that Ferrari is in a straight line. He's going to be close with that DRS. Is Raikkonen going to have a go into turn 1? No, Bottas just covers it slightly on the inside, nothing major. Will that compromise his exit? I think it might do, because Raikkonen is right on the back. We might have 2 fins side by side into turn 4 here. Look at the back of that. Yeah, I think we're going to have we are. Here goes Kimi Raikkonen now. He's going to have a look. Bottas goes defensive. Raikkonen to the outside. Can Bottas hold the position? They're side by side. Nothing between them, and Bottas just about holds on, but Raikkonen's going to come back at him, but he's not going to try through turn 6, surely. Not even Kimi. He's having a think. But wide from Bottas. It always looks like they can throw it up the inside into 7. It doesn't often work out that way. Very close. I think you'll get him next time round, but this is brilliant to watch between these. Question marks over rain. Stefan's asking. Red G says it's bone dry. It is at the moment. That's a few little bits of moisture. That's a horrible word, isn't it? Moisture on the camera lens of Verstappen behind Bottas, but that might not really mean anything. But look at Ricciardo right on the back of Vettel as well. So Ricciardo might get quadruple DRS here. I don't think it quite works like that, but, you know, why not? Verstappen, what's he doing? 1.7 behind Hamilton. 14.2 on the last lap for him, 14.4 for Hamilton, so he's definitely reeling him in. Bottas goes defensive. Raikkonen tries again. Not going to make it stick. Will he try it at 4? Not easy to get round at 4. Sainz or Gasly, Sean? It depends on what you're asking. It depends on what you're asking. If we're asking who would I have taken in Red Bull's position, I would have taken Gasly. Who do I prefer? I'd probably go Gasly. But that's hard to say because I really like Carlos Sainz as well. So ST says Sainz for the looks. Yes, that's exactly what I was grading them on, mate. Raikkonen's quick again. Really quick this weekend. Looking to go out on a high, isn't he? Really wants to finish this one. As a driver, right now, Sainz, but I think Gasly's got more potential. And I still think I would have taken him over Sainz if I was in Red Bull's position. Yeah. I'm not answering that, ST. So what we got going on then? We know what's going on up front. Let's see what's going on further down the field then. Anybody close to Gasly on the subject is right behind Kevin Magnussen. Bottas a bit quicker that time round, so I think he's just starting to pull away a little bit from Raikkonen. Not massively. It's so close between them. Just looking at replay lap 9 here for some reason. So this is Magnussen and Ericsson. Side by side. Well, yeah, there is definite contact. There was a little bit of contact. It looked like there was. Might be wrong. Just watch again. Oh, yeah, a little bit. Just pushing Ericsson wide a little bit. Argy-bargy. Let's have a watch on board. I don't think there's anything in that, really. Oh, it's a bit cheeky, but I think that's okay. Wheel-to-wheel stuff. 1.4 seconds between the front two. But yeah, just back down the field. Gasly 1.4 now behind Magnussen. Perez not really anywhere. Ocon not making the progress I expected. He's half a second behind Alonso, who's 15th. Ericsson down to 14th. Really? Van Dorn's on the back of Stroll. Stroll's on the back of Sirotkin, and Sirotkin's on the back of Hartley. Hartley's on the back of Ocon. You see where I'm going with that. In the midfield towards the back end of the grid. But really, the fight at the moment is your top six, which, as much as we love the midfield fight, yeah. And Martin Brundle just pointing out what I was just going to say, actually, Charles Leclerc is on the move too. 14.7 from him. Ricciardo 14.8. Yeah, he's closing in. He is catching Ricciardo. He is catching those ahead of him. So just keep an eye on him if these keep squabbling. Malaysia 2017 all over again. Yes, Max Verstappen on Lewis Hamilton. Could be. That was a good race. I missed that track. I missed that track already. It's only been 1 year. Fantastic racetrack. You're just Crofty shouting contact whenever they get close. No, I'm shouting contact when they make contact, mate. There's a difference. Crofty just likes to shout, let's go for it, when they're 25 car lengths back. But yes, there's definite contact between Magnussen and Ericsson there. Nothing major. Nothing major at all. Different, of course, if he punts him in the side pod and rips his own front wing off, and then maybe you're looking at penalties. But, wheel to wheel like that, it's nothing. There was space. Same with Hulkenberg and Sainz contact there, but that was all fair. They were scrapping. Is Verstappen second? Yes, he is. Verstappen's saying Hamilton's sliding more than me, and the team's telling him just to creep up on him. So just having a watch of the running order here, just see if anything's. Ocon's close on Ericsson. I wonder if Ericsson has got a bit of damage from that, something significant from that first lap. Because he's really lost the pace. Wheel to wheel stuff there with Alonso and Ocon. Good move from Ocon. But he hasn't got the pace he had in qualifying at all. He's nowhere near it. He's dropped to 14th and he's well off the pace. He's 16.2. His teammate's 14.8. So let's still got the mighty dash. I'd be surprised if we didn't see Max win. Does anybody else think Max is going to win this? 1.2. He's catching Hamilton. Raikkonen catching Bottas again. Vettel really falling away. Raikkonen, is he going to have a go into turn one? He's a little bit too far back. Bottas does just come across on the off chance he tries it, but Kimi's a wily old fox. He'll wait a little bit longer rather than throw it up the inside there. But Vettel second off his teammate. Here's Kimi having a little look, but just listed Ricciardo's team radio there. Just been told what the pace up front is. Kimi going to try in turn 6? He's not going to go down the outside there. He had a little look. Like I say, that's a really risky move. So when those moves into turn 6 come off, they're absolutely incredible. When they don't, they're usually pretty nasty for somebody. But I think, just looking at Mercedes Garage on the TV feed there, I wonder if they might pull one of them in. Bottas isn't playing a team game here, is he? Verstappen pits. Putting on the medium tyres. Bottas just seems really slow. 14.9, a second, 1.2 off his teammate last lap, a second slower than Verstappen. The lap, when it updates, mate, I'll tell you. I think, lap 17 of 71. Real tough fishing. So 17th lap. Bottas just doesn't seem to have the killer instinct, in my opinion, says Ryan. I gave him a bit of stick for that earlier in the year after Bahrain. I'm not going to go on about that again because I get stick for it because I have an opinion. But I think he should have made that move on Vettel. Should have gone for it. But yeah. Alonso. He's pitted. He's put on the medium tyres. Sirotkin is pitting as well. He's just coming in. I assume most of those are going to go for midfield. Is that blistering on Bottas' right rear to him left as we look at it on the rear shot? It might be a little bit. It might be a little blister in there. And Ferrari are getting ready. So Ferrari are going to pull somebody in here. I would assume... Would they go Raikkonen? They've not pulled anybody in. So Ferrari just trying to play the game with Mercedes. A little bit of stuff from earlier in the year, trying to force them into a pit stop. No, they didn't. There was no pit stop, but the window is open if they want to. What's the gap back? 1.8 seconds is a gap at the moment. There is a blister. It says Belschnickel. I hope I've said that right. Did look like a blister, didn't it? So, what are we, lap 18? That is when the window opens for super soft. So, yeah, you'd probably, was it? I think 17 laps I think we were looking at on Friday for Vettel's blistering. So, that would be about right if that started to open up. But only a second and a half between the top two at the moment now. So, I would assume that they're going to pull Hamilton in first if they pull either Mercedes in. He tends to get preferential treatment, whoever's in front out of the Mercedes, of course. So they might bring Bottas in, but he's doing, if he's struggling with tyres or they're playing the team game or he just hasn't got the pace, whichever it is, he's doing a very good job for them at the moment to keep those Ferraris away from potentially Lewis Hamilton. And of course, that could help them massively in winning this Constructors today. So... So Mercedes are now ready. Are they going to make a pit stop themselves, or are they now playing Ferrari their own game? Let's see. So Bottas does pit. So Bottas is in. So maybe we're a little bit worried about that rear tyre. So Ferrari have got to push now. They've really got to push. Obvious statement. I know, Captain Obvious here, but they've got to push it now. Ricciardo goes through as well. Where's Bottas going to come out? He's behind Leclerc. I think he might end up behind Grosjean, and he will do... Intrigued is where I can't. Max Verstappen fastest lap, by the way, 1:13.599. So he's going to come out P9, I believe. Yes, he does, behind Kevin Magnussen in P9. So there's a blister as well on Hamilton's right rear. Camera just picking that one up. That's quite a nasty one, actually. So I would assume he'll be in soon as well, if not this lap. And his left front as well. We've not really seen a lot of Lewis Hamilton before. That's a really nasty blister on that left front. Be surprised if they don't pit him. He does come in. He's in the pits. God, such a crazy pit lane entry, isn't it, in Brazil? So Hamilton's in. So Verstappen does take the lead. Now, what pace has he got? He needs to push. Obviously, Captain Obvious again, I know. It is mediums as well for Lewis Hamilton. That's mediums for Bottas and mediums for Hamilton. So they are going to the end on those. Unless, of course, the rain comes. He's going to come out behind Grosjean by the look of it. I think. Yes, he will. So he's behind Romain Grosjean. Weird pit exit as well. Love the Brazil pit exit. Just be ahead of Kevin Magnussen. So Bottas behind Magnussen. Hamilton behind Grosjean. Is that a bit of clear air? Might be all right. Bottas did have some clear air as well. So it's going to be interesting now as to how far Ferrari go. Right then. Deep breath. So I listen to Ted. Being cheeky as well. See if I can depress myself with the football score. Yeah, still the same. There you go. I'm going to look through the field again on the timing, the official timing on the F1 website, see what we've got. Not much. Hulkenberg 6/10 behind Sainz, who's 6/10 behind Gasly. Hamilton now past Grosjean. So Max been told, mode 7, don't overdrive it, keep it clean. So, I wonder how long he's going to stay out. So 13.4 from Verstappen, so he's pushing, but what's Hamilton going to do? Because he's already clear of Grosjean. Purple in the first. We've got yellow flags. Oh, and off goes Marcus Ericsson in a spin. Is that at turn 7, I think it is? Looks like it. So what's happened there? Obviously he had a spin, obviously. But let's have a look at a replay of that one. I'm sure he's got some damage to that car. He looks to be really struggling. Yeah, he's saying he needs to box. It sounds like it might be the end of the day for Marcus Ericsson. He's very slow. Yeah. Flat spots all over them. I want to see a replay of the spin if we ever get there, but he's cruising out Marcus Ericsson. That is such a shame. And not just for Discord. Not just for Discord, but fantastic qualifying yesterday. He's been in great form this last few races. It would have been fantastic as well to see him finish the season on a high, but I think, unless they're just coming in to get the flat spotted tyres off, I don't know, but yeah, that's a shame. Hamilton fastest lap of the race. He goes across the line 13 flat, 7/10 quicker than Max Verstappen, and yeah, that's game over for Ericsson, I'm afraid, Ericsson fans. And that is a shame. Sonny says so much for Ericsson winning. Yeah, it was a long shot anyway, but he's just spun it round. Yeah, that's all he's done. It's all on his own. Poor guy. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's just said on team radio he cannot drive it. He just lost it. It's a shame. That is a shame. So Verstappen at the moment is slower than Lewis Hamilton, but he's picking up his pace a little bit, but still he's quicker in the middle. So he's still got some pace in that Red Bull. I think they might run a little bit further so they can put the softs on so they're quicker later on. Would be a very smart move. Hamilton now closing in on Charles Leclerc. So they've only lost Marcus Ericsson so far. Verstappen is within DRS of Charles Leclerc as they come down into turn 4. So he should be on him by the end of the lap. Average pit time lost, by the way, if anyone was asking. It's 21 seconds according to the graphic stuff on TV. Graphic stuff, there you go. I think that's... what do you reckon in chat? I've got a feeling... that they might be trying to stretch that Red Bull to be able to put the softs on to the end. So obviously the quicker tyre. Lynn Fitz says hit that like button. Absolutely. Please do smash that like button. It's always awesome to get a few likes on these watch-ons. They get a lot of hate because people don't like that there's no race footage. And as I've said to many people before, and I've said it a lot as Hamilton gets through past Leclerc, I've said it a lot lately, if I could share race footage, I would. And believe me, these would be titled very, very differently because I quite fancy absolutely thousands of viewers. So not that I don't appreciate all 769 of you at the minute, but I'm just saying it'd be great to get tens of thousands of viewers because I've got race footage to show you all. But we manage with the live timing. I have a good chat with you all as well. Sometimes I go quiet, but I'm just having a drink. But yeah, just keep an eye on the race as it goes on. So do hit that like button. That would be muchly appreciated. And if you're new as well, do hit subscribe. We're going to be live at 8 p.m-ish. Assuming this race goes to normal distance, which it should do. I don't think it's going to be overrunning. It doesn't look like we're going to get any heavy downpours at the moment that might bring out a red flag or anything. But famous last words. But I'll be live at 8 p.m-ish with Jonty and with Chamber for the post-race cool-down room. I think me and Chamber have cooled down after our Twitter moments yesterday with a few people. So I should say as well, by the way, if I open up a debate with any of you on Twitter and you guys have got a differing opinion and I'm chatting to you on there, don't ever take my responses as snappy. I know sometimes on streams I sound like I'm quite a snappy person. I'm not. It's just that's how I talk. That's how I message. I said to somebody yesterday, it's great to be able to have this debate with you, quite a grown-up debate and just chat about it. So I'm never having a go when I argue back. I'm just arguing my point. So yeah. That's all. That was all. Let's have a look at this running order then. So what's happening? I'll have a look at some lap times because that might tell us a little something. So Verstappen obviously leading 13.7 last lap. We want to be looking at Hamilton's times. 14.5. Hamilton being told he's gaining ground, but we'd have lost a little bit of time behind Leclerc, but he was quite slow at lap 14.5. So Verstappen quicker. Raikkonen 14.1. Vettel 14.1 as well. Ricciardo 14.1. They're all consistent. But are being generally caught by Hamilton. Not on that lap, of course. Leclerc 15.6, Grosjean 14.9. Bottas only a 14.2. And that's only a tenth off the leaders, but fresh tyres, I thought it'd be a little bit quicker than that. Magnussen 9th, 14.8. He's been caught by Perez, who's just done a 14.4. So yeah, everyone, I mean, Gasly's just done a 14.7 down in 16th on some fresh medium tyres, so some good pace there. Who's the net lead? I think still Hamilton. What is he? He's 18.2 off the lead at the moment with his lap times as they are, which would put him about 3 seconds up the road. 21 seconds they were losing the pit stop, so just wait for Hamilton to go across the line. 14.5 again, I think. That can't be right. Wonder if that's not updated yet. That's the same time he did more or less last lap, but yeah, interesting. So Verstappen is quicker than Hamilton at the moment. Bottas is not catching Grosjean, says Jose. He doesn't seem to be, does he? What is he? Like I say, 14.2. He is now 14.2, 14.7, but he's not cruising up behind him like I thought they would. It was a 14.5. So Verstappen's 13.9 as he goes across the line. Raikkonen 13.8. Vettel 13.8, quicker than those ahead of him just. Or quicker than Verstappen. 13.7 for Ricciardo. Hamilton 14.9. So Hamilton a second slower on that lap again than Max Verstappen. So whatever's going on here isn't working for Mercedes at all. Has he got traffic? He shouldn't do. He's 7.5 behind Ricciardo. Interesting. Interesting. I'm just double checking that because I'm wondering what's going on there. Obviously the medium tyres are slower anyway, but they're fresh, so you'd have thought they'd been a bit quicker than that. Max tyre management and a bit of applause there. Absolutely. He was good in Mexico with that, wasn't he? Very good in Mexico with that one. Third of the race went quickly. It did, absolutely. 27. Lap 27 of 71. Thunder predicted at the minute, nothing in the area. Yeah, I'm just looking at the sky, trying to get a decent shot of the sky as they go around the TV. It's quite clear in summer. It's quite overcast, but a little bit of sunshine in the distance. Ferrari look like they're getting ready. And why not? I think that's going to be Vettel coming in. Ferrari coming out. Is it Vettel? Yes, it is Sebastian Vettel. He's coming into the pits. What can he do? His last lap we didn't get to see, obviously. I've forgotten that. I think he was a little bit quicker than Hamilton on that lap as well. So, again, 14.4 from Hamilton, 13.6 from Verstappen. Hamilton now 19.7 off the lead. He needs to pick it up because another second and a half. And Verstappen's pretty much, as long as he gets a perfect pit stop, got a pit stop in his pocket. So where's Verstappen? Where's Vettel going to come out? Will he beat Perez out? So that's a Haas coming through that corner. So he should be ahead of Perez and just behind Magnussen, but I don't think Magnussen will be overly difficult to pass. Interesting. That is finally Bottas having a go at Romain Grosjean, but he's not going to get through. Grosjean's super defensive there. So Bottas really struggling to clear that Haas at the moment. Interesting. I'm just surprised at how long it's taking Bottas to clear Grosjean. I know that Ferrari power is really decent this weekend on that straight, but it just seems to take him forever to catch him, doesn't it? Or is it just me? So 30 to Ricciardo, purple, 112.9 as he goes across the line, fastest lap of the race. 13.5 from Verstappen, 12.9 as well from Hamilton. Hamilton now picking up the pace, but he lost a bit of time in all that. Here goes Bottas. Will he have a go at Romain Grosjean? Should get through there, and does do down the inside. Finally gets past the Haas, but Hamilton now picking up the pace a little bit, but still not massively on Max Verstappen. This is going to get interesting. This is just hang fire, everybody. That is a few applause for the lap from Ricciardo there. 112.919. Hamilton 112.930. Leclerc 14.2. Matching Raikkonen's pace at the moment. And Vettel now right in the back of Kevin Magnussen. Might be a bit tougher to get past than I thought he might be, actually. But Magnussen is catching Grosjean as well, I believe. Yes, he is considerably. 7/10 on the last lap. So So Vettel really needs to clear this Haas. He's going to go down the inside. Magnussen makes that really difficult for him. Vettel's past Magnussen. And then it's Grosjean just up the road, a second and a half up the road. So Vettel is on the move. Can he dispatch Grosjean a little bit easier than Valtteri Bottas did? Really surprised by how long that took, to be honest. Verstappen needs to pit, Raikkonen needs to pit, Ricciardo needs to pit, Leclerc needs to pit, Grosjean needs to pit, Magnussen, Perez, Hülkenberg, Ocon have all yet to stop. It's interesting, this. The 13.5 from Verstappen, 13.6 from Raikkonen, 13.9 from Ricciardo, 13.9 from Hamilton. Hamilton being told to match Verstappen's time. 0.7 safe is what he's been told, Lewis Hamilton. Max Verstappen on team radio. I think these tyres are getting better. Brilliant. He's 13.2 as he goes across the line as well. What's Hamilton going to do? 13.4. So at the moment, looking very good for Verstappen here. 19.7 up the road. I've got a video planned for it in the winter if I can fit it in. So much content as Vettel passes Grosjean. Plan for the winter that's opinionated like today's video. I'm very much moving towards that now. Much more fun to do. So much planned for it. I've got so many videos to fit in, but I've got one planned for Verstappen. Just talking about how almost polar opposite he is to the guy that he was sort of after 6 races, 6 races into this season, all that criticism, people going, oh, he needs to be dropped. And then you look at him now and he's just a completely different guy. And I think it's brilliant. I'm looking forward to doing that video. A lot of reading to do on that one, a bit of research and whatnot. But yeah, really looking forward to doing that video. Any chance of rain, says Jacob. It's about, seems to be the word at the moment, but Alonso passed Van Dorn there. Looked like McLaren were moving Van Dorn out of the way. But yeah. Raikkonen pits. Ricciardo moves into second place. So, what about those last laps then? Again, Verstappen quicker. 13.2. Ricciardo 13.3. Hamilton 13.4. Gap to Hamilton 20.1. Leclerc only half a second off the pace of Lewis Hamilton, He's not challenging him, but that's good to see. Imagine a season if Leclerc finished on the podium. It would be bonkers after all the pit stops, and if any of the top 6 Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes drop out in front. Yeah, he'd need a little bit of luck in that respect, Jordan, but it'd be insane, wouldn't it? That'd be brilliant to see. Just, it sounds awful, but if we can get a car that isn't a Red Bull, a Mercedes, or a Ferrari on the podium, that's just going to be brilliant anyway. But yeah. Verstappen will win this quite frankly, says Reese. Can't see Hamilton coming back at him if he is overcut. The gap's still growing as well. Not massively. 10th here and a 10th there, but given that Verstappen's on 32-lap-old super softs, and if you then throw into that the one run he just, that's another one hot lap, call it 2 laps, 2 slow laps on them. So that's a total of, it's 34 laps on these tyres, and he's still quicker than Hamilton on much fresher mediums. This is Van Dorn passing Alonso. Okay. Seem to be squabbling between McLaren. Magnussen looks... Yeah, Grosjean's in the pit, so Magnussen's moved up to place to P8, so Grosjean finally in. Which means the driver's yet to stop. Verstappen, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Magnussen, Perez, Ocon and Hartley, who of course started on the mediums. Vettel passed Raikkonen. That would have been through the pit stops, I assume. If that's happened on track, I do apologise if I missed that. I assumed that would have been in the pit stops. But again, the Ferrari's right on the back of Valtteri Bottas, 4 tenths between each of them. So 4 tenths between Bottas and Vettel. Was now 6 tenths for some reason, 4 tenths between Vettel and Raikkonen, which has now moved to 5 tenths. That's why I hate live timing. But yes, it is moving all over the place. So A quick look at this one. See what we've got. Hulkenberg in the pits as well, so that's another one pitting. I assume he's just going to go to mediums. Could he go softs from here? Magnussen's done 33 laps on the softs. Oh, Hulkenberg's retiring. I'm going to stop these one-to-watches, and I'm going to stop these predictions again. He was my one-to-watch for this weekend. I really thought he was going to go. That is the first time, stat for you, the first time Nico Hulkenberg has retired from any Brazilian Grand Prix he started. Of course, he missed out 2011, but he has finished in all 7 that he started in the points as well. So that's it for Nico Hulkenberg. Of course, back in 2010, took pole position in that Williams, the scenes at the time. The next big thing, Nico Hulkenberg, still a fantastic racing driver. I don't care what anybody says, and I think he's a bit underrated as well. I think Perez falls into that bracket a little bit as well, but yes, disappointing for Hulks. We've lost Hulkenberg and Ericsson. Technical issues for Hulkenberg by the sounds of it, according to his team radio there. He wasn't happy, bit of swearing, of course, and Marcus Ericsson with damage, we believe, that ended up in a spin, and yeah, game over for him. Max Claydon, ever the optimist, says Danny Rick, engine blow up due shortly. Oh, don't do that to him. Okay, so Hamilton's starting to come back now on Max Verstappen. I wonder if he'll be in soon. Verstappen, he doesn't need a huge gap, does he, really? Doesn't necessarily need a pit stop in his pocket, as long as he can stay close. We've seen he can pass a Mercedes, we've seen he can pass a Ferraris with a bit of DRS down that straight. So as long as he's within 5, 6, 7 seconds, he might be okay. And Vettel has let Raikkonen through. Huh. Wow. Yeah. Simply put, he was the Raikkonen is quicker. And he's got slightly fresher tyres as well, I suppose. So it makes complete and total sense to do that. But it's very odd. Was that a team order? It was, yeah. Maurizio Arrivabene saying switch them around. Oh, Ferrari team orders. They're ruining this sport. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, this is awful. I'm joking, of course, being sarcastic. Max Verstappen pits. On go are they the softs? They are the softs. He is going to be quick. Raikkonen purple on that lap after clearing Vettel, 12.5. Hamilton has passed Verstappen, but what is the gap going to be? I'd say around about 3 seconds. That is Hamilton there. So he's going to come out. He's got a bit of traffic with the McLarens, but they'll, in theory, have to jump out of the way. And that's the McLarens who are going to be fighting Red Bull for podiums and third in the championship this year. That's Alonso lapped and Van Dorn about to be lapped by Max Verstappen. Yes, I said that's a 3.1 behind Hamilton. Game on. But Raikkonen's flying right on the back of Bottas again now. 12.5, 4 tenths quicker than the previous fastest lap as well. Hello, Lewis41. Good to see you. Thanks for coming along. So Max Verstappen, I was watching the replay of his pit stop here. Was everything all right? Yeah, looks to be. Good stop. Not the quickest, but good stop. And it is the soft tyres. Oh, right then. Verstappen already 2.4 behind Hamilton, so he's already closed in by half a second on this lap alone. So this is going to get very tasty very quickly. Raikkonen right on the back of Bottas. Look, don't take this any weird way. It's nothing against Verstappen, nothing against Red Bull. I did not expect we'd be talking about Max Verstappen potentially making it back-to-back wins. I did not think Brazil was going to be a Red Bull track at all. And all that focus they put in setting up for Sunday, running long on those tyres, it's worked absolutely perfectly for them. And Ricciardo's 9.8 up the road from Hamilton, so he's not going to, when he comes out, he's not going to be a million miles off second place himself here. What? Say second, what is he? Oh, forget that. Just forget that. He's only 19.8 up the road from Vettel, so he's going to be right on the back of Vettel when he's pitted. So he's going to have to do some overtaking to get second, but maybe if those Ferraris, certainly Vettel doesn't find some pace soon and Bottas doesn't find some pace, he might be able to nick a podium, but I think Raikkonen looks on for third here. Have a quick drink, because I think this is about to get very interesting. Verstappen, 112.6 is now 1.8 behind Lewis Hamilton, who last lap did a 113.4. Yes, the Mighty Dash is another altitude track. It's not to the same level of Mexico, of course, as I'm sure you know, but it's never been a great one for Red Bull in this hybrid era. According to Martin Brundle, the rain is advancing and the buildings he could see are no longer visible. That is a quote right there from Martin Brundle. So rain could be on its way. Rain could be on its way. Oh, yes. Anybody else looking forward to seeing Kimi Raikkonen at Sauber next year? Seeing what he can do? I think we might get a few surprises. Not wins or anything like that, but I think we could get a few surprises. Max says, apparently rain expected in 30 minutes. That's Max Claydon, not Max Verstappen. So that could get interesting. Kimi seems a little bit far back, though, Crofty. Crofty bigging him up here for a move on Bottas. He seems a bit far back. It's a long straight, but Vettel lapping the McLaren there. Max Verstappen, a 1:12.1. 9 tenths quicker than Hamilton. He is 7 tenths behind him. As much as I want to see Kimi Raikkonen have a go at Bottas here, as I'm sure we all do, see those Finns fighting, we need to be watching Verstappen, and we are now. He is 4 tenths behind Hamilton. He's flying. And there's a bit of traffic. Now, Verstappen... should be told several laps fresher tyres, obviously, but he doesn't... Verstappen does not want to be trying anything before the DRS, because that Mercedes will breeze past him. He wants to wait for the DRS. Oh, here we go. He's got it. He should get a good exit. Better traction, of course. Out of Zhumshao, however you want to say it. And he's got a fantastic exit. I think Max Verstappen is about to take the lead from Lewis Hamilton. I think Max Verstappen's probably going to win driver of the day if he gets to the end of this one and makes this move stick. He's got the slipstream. He's got the DRS. He is side by side with Lewis Hamilton. And Max Verstappen takes second place and the net lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix. What a move. Raikkonen a 10th behind Bottas. We need to be watching that. And I think Ricciardo's pitting as well. So that is for the lead. Hamilton's tried to come back at Verstappen, though. He's going to have a look down the outside of turn 4. Verstappen is not going to let him through there. And he's held that position. But where is Raikkonen? He didn't get Bottas. 3 tenths between them. So couldn't get it done. Oh, but I think Verstappen needs to break clear quickly here from Lewis Hamilton. 1.1 at the moment, the gap. Raikkonen right on the back of Bottas. And some traffic ahead as well. Oh, it's a good race. I'm enjoying this, guys. Definitely. So much has happened in this race. We've still got 31 laps to go. It's flown by. Absolutely flown by. A lot of clouds in the sky as well, so this could turn. But of course, Verstappen, we know he's good in the wet. So is Hamilton. So Bottas, where did Ricciardo come out? P6, 1.7 behind. Only 13 seconds off the lead. So 12.2, 12.3 off Lewis Hamilton in second is a big ask because he's got to pass Vettel, Raikkonen and Bottas. But Vettel's not really that quick at the moment. Here goes Raikkonen. Will he have another go at Bottas? He's going to have a little look, but there's no way he's getting through that. But this reminds me a little bit of China. Just reminds me a little bit of China. The Red Bull's coming through. Bit of overtaking to do, which is absolutely fine. But these Ferraris cannot get past Valtteri Bottas at the moment, can Kimi Raikkonen. This is a move from Verstappen down the outside. It was all done, really. Yeah, well done. What's he said over team radio? Get in there, basically. Fantastic. Fantastic to watch. That will be Ricciardo taking out Vettel. I don't know about that, but I think he's catching him nicely. 5 tenths between him. He might get him the end of this lap. It's a bit of an ask. Raikkonen right in the back of Bottas again, but he just doesn't seem to be able to get the move done. I'm really surprised. Just seems to be able to hold, seems to get a good enough exit out of that corner, Bottas, to keep the gap. But Ricciardo will dive bomb. A little look at Vettel, but not really anything there. But next time round, he absolutely will have a go. He might try it in 4. He might, but Vettel really not got any pace on their mediums. Ricciardo, a 1:11.6 across the line. Here goes Ricciardo into 4. Will he have a look on his former teammate? Dancing around a little bit, but won't go for the move. So that is a flipping, I nearly swore a flipping quick lap from Daniel Ricciardo. 1:11.6. Nice. A little dancing around behind Sebastian Vettel. He just doesn't look to have any pace at all on those medium tyres. Just wondering if Vettel might pit a little bit later. Get rid of these tyres if he's struggling. He's got... What's he got? He's got about 18 seconds to Leclerc. 19 seconds. Yeah, he could pit if he wanted to, but I think Ricciardo's about to make the move on Sebastian Vettel. He's got the DRS. Seems quite way back, but of course, we know he'll go for it in that dive bomb opportunity. Into turn 1, down the outside. Does go around the outside. He's not... Whoa! Side by side, and that... yes. Vettel defending very hard there, and Ricciardo on the grass. So here goes Ricciardo again. Going to have another look, I think, into turn 4. Director focusing on the wrong one. There we go. But yeah, Vettel defending very hard into turn 1. So yeah, Ricciardo trying it around the outside. Vettel just putting enough for squeeze on him. Ricciardo ends up with 2 wheels on the grass. There's plenty of space before that starts getting thrown around. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So having a replay here, yes, just down the outside, yeah, just trying to get himself out of that one. A little bit of grass, but Ricciardo's going to get that done, I think, with the pace they've got in that car. Raikkonen needs to pass Bottas, because at the minute, what's that for Mercedes then? 18 and 15, so that would be enough for the title if Ricciardo gets past both Ferraris, possibly. 18 and 15 is 33. I'm crap with maths. So that's 33. 22 for Ferrari. And Ricciardo, and that is Raikkonen now. Oh, and that's Max Verstappen in a spin. And that looks like contact. And I think, what is going on there? That looks like there's been a crash. And Verstappen is slow. And there's Ricciardo having a look out at Vettel, but what has happened there? What has happened there? Just waiting for a replay here. Here is a replay. So Verstappen is lapping the Force India. And what is he doing? Come on, Esteban. So Verstappen's lapping Esteban Ocon here. He's up the inside into turn 1. Verstappen then, assuming that's all done, comes across to take his line in turn 2, which is entitled to do lapping a car, and Ocon wipes him out. I'm sure there'll be plenty screaming that Max has squeezed him there, but he's a lapped car. Get out of the bloody way. Yeah, I agree with Martin Brundle there. Yes, he has put the squeeze on Ocon, but he's the race leader. Ocon is being lapped. And everyone knows how much I like Esteban Ocon. That is a stupid thing to do. Why is he doing that? He's 16th. He's not fighting for anything. Oh, that is stupid. Don't start that, Harris. Mercedes junior driver. Don't start that one. I hope that's not damaged Verstappen. It's 16th place. He was far enough off Lance Stroll. He's a lap down. Get the fucking hell out of the way. What is with lap traffic this year? Saw it in Singapore, didn't we? With Romain Grosjean. Just get out of the way. You've been blue flagged. Not even so much Grosjean, but in that situation... Otmar Safar now saying Max didn't leave him any room. He knew he was there. Yes, but it was a lap down, Otmar. Wake up. Use your brain. Different if you're fighting for the lead, which he's not doing at that point. Verstappen's pace looks good for those that are worried. So, but I was talking about the Constructors' Championship there. That would win Mercedes the Constructors' Championship as it stands. That'll be a penalty. That's got to be a penalty. Oh, and there is Daniel Ricciardo, wheel to wheel, literally with Sebastian Vettel into turn 1. Vettel's going to try and come back in, and they're going to be on the outside of turn 3, but you're not going to get that, Seb. Will he get DRS? Yes, he will. Ricciardo goes defensive into 4. Vettel coming back at him. This is a very good race, and Ricciardo just hanging on. Vettel, little lock up. Will he come back? No, won't. Ricciardo gets through into 5th place. Vettel down to 6th. Oh, and Raikkonen is ahead of Bottas. In all of that, Raikkonen did jump Valtteri Bottas. So, there we go. Oh, side by side. Verstappen 1:12.7 on the last lap. Hamilton 1:13 flat. So Verstappen's still got pace. So there's no concern of damage there as far as I know. But yeah, if that's not a penalty for Ocon. Let's not. I'll just say this now. This isn't everybody. It's again at the select few. Any abuse hurled at mods, and I'll block you myself. Simple as that. So pack it in. It's not necessary, or me for that matter. Not just the mods. Oh, we can abuse Sean. It's okay. Just taking a deep breath. I'm quite frustrated at that one. Really frustrated. Is Max still in it? Yes, he is. Still got good pace. 0.2 quicker than Hamilton on the last lap. But, yeah. So, Constructors' Championship update. Mercedes would win it at the moment with Ferrari as runners-up. We already know that one of them will be runners-up. Red Bull aren't catching anybody. But, yeah. Max is still in it. 4.8 seconds a gap. So that reminds me of a little bit. Not to the same severity. What just happened with Ocon there? Verstappen and Montoya, 2001, for those that remember that one. Heading down to turn 4, Montoya laps, I think it was Verstappen in the arrows, then comes back across him, and Verstappen goes over the back of him and takes him out of the race. Yeah, but obviously Verstappen's still going, Ocon's still going. That's look, slam dunk penalty for Ocon, and everybody knows I like Ocon. I never shut up about him on this channel, but that is penalty all day long. He's got damage to his floor, Max Verstappen, so that's going to be... Yeah, and Ocon on Team Radio said, I don't think I need to see what happens. And then the team saying to him, he didn't leave you space, I understand. You're a lap down. This is if you're fighting him for 16th place, fine. Absolutely fine, but you're not. You're a lap down. Get out of the way. There's these things in Formula 1 called blue flags. And yes, blue flags are frustrating as hell, by the way. I will point that one out sometimes. But only when you've got drivers like... I don't know, let's pick one off the leaderboard there. Carlos Sainz, who's in 12th place, right on the back of his teammate, squabbling really hard, and then he gets the blue flag because he's 3 seconds in front of Lewis Hamilton coming through. That's when blue flags are frustrating. But Ocon was nowhere near anybody at that point, really. Stupid. Could be interesting to see what Verstappen could do. Floor damage, of course. A few years ago, there was another Red Bull that had to fight back a little bit further through the field, who had quite a bit of damage on his car. A one Sebastian Vettel, so it can be done. 4 points. His pace is all right. He's only a 10th quicker than Hamilton, but that could potentially be the race thrown away. Well, not thrown away, taken away from Red Bull. Ted just referencing a few that have said about Esteban Ocon being a Mercedes junior driver. No. I can't imagine Esteban Ocon's overly impressed with Mercedes at the moment, given that he's not going to be racing in Formula 1 next year. Yeah, sorry, just listen to Ted there. I know if you're watching, you'll hear him. If not, then obviously you won't. But Captain Obvious again right there for you. But, yeah, just saying about that might have blistered his rear tyres a little bit and caused some damage, so... So here's Ricciardo now and Valtteri Bottas. Vettel, no pace. 12.8 for him. 12.3 for Ricciardo. 12.7 for Bottas. No pace really from him either. I know it's only half a second, but it's still a fair whack. Thank you very much for the sub, Reese Benjamin. I don't always see those, so thank you very much, mate, for subbing. Welcome to the team. It's a madhouse, but we have some good fun. And some rants, and I get myself in a bit of trouble every now and again, but... most of these subs are here to calm me down when I start. Marty Bruddle get excited there. 10 seconds between Hamilton and Ricciardo, first to fifth. This ain't over. Thank you very much, Wild Gamer, as well, for subbing. But I'm not going to shout them all out, so if I don't catch you, I do apologise. But yeah. So it's 4.1 the gap, Hamilton to Verstappen, so he's still in there. He's still definitely in there. I'm just going to have a quick check on my PC. I forgot. Yeah, I think we're running all right. Seems to be. So look at the status here. It looks like it might hold on. Got a stream, of course, 8 o'clock with Chamber and with Jonty as well for the post-race. Plenty to discuss, I feel. Hello, Alan. Thank you very much for subbing, mate. Yeah, few bits to discuss after this one, and I'm sure I'll try not to wind Chamber up. I promise. I'll try not to wind Stuart up and start talking about yesterday's qualifying. I'll let him cool off after qualifying yesterday on Twitter. Ricciardo all over the back of Bottas at the moment. Vettel again, just falling away in 6th. He's not really falling away, but he's not really making any ground either. No, just kind of where he is at the moment, unfortunately. Lucas, no way Ocon will be racing for Mercedes in 2020. I like this pilot a lot, but no way they're going to kick out Bottas. I think Ocon's problem, ignoring what's just happened, I think Ocon's problem is if Russell gets in that Williams and excels... 1 second, mate. I'll answer that in a second. You can go, mate. Bye-bye. There we go. In the chat. Just dealing with somebody in chat. But yeah, I think the problem he's got is if Russell jumps in that Williams next year and absolutely excels, he climbs the ladder, doesn't he? He jumps Ocon in the queue for that Mercedes seat, potentially. This is the danger with a year out in Formula 1. You know, people say, oh, it's only a year. If he's good enough, he'll come back. But... people are easily forgotten in Formula 1. Those clouds look a little bit menacing that are rolling in, but yeah, a year out of Formula 1 it can be very costly and people get forgotten. If Russell does really well next year, then Mercedes might go, well, you know, he's a little bit younger. He was really good last year in what, you know, let's assume the Williams is struggling like they are this year. There you go. So, yeah, interesting. It does look as though like Kubica is in the frame for that seat, as we were talking about yesterday, which will be an interesting one. A lot of you would love to see Robert Kubica in that seat, so going to be interesting, but yes. Verstappen being told he's still got some in this, so which he has. 12.1 on the last lap and 12.3 for Hamilton. We are talking 20 laps. The rain clouds are rolling in by the look of it, and the gap is 4.3 seconds, so... Hamilton quicker in the middle sector this time round. Now looking at the timing, 37.1, 37.3. That could be because of the damage, maybe. Verstappen slower overall on that lap after I was just saying that. So, still nothing on whether Ocon's got a penalty. It is Ricciardo. Have a look at Bottas. He's having a little cheeky Ricciardo look, but he's not going to get the dive bomb done there very last minute. But he's all over him. Can Ricciardo get himself on the podium? He is half a second off Bottas. Which means he's 4 seconds off Raikkonen. As we've already said, he's only 10 seconds off the lead. That'd be interesting, won't it? Vettel in no man's land today. Yes, absolutely agree with that one. Bottas being told no more overtake for the moment. And Ricciardo being told that message as well, of course. But yeah, getting a little bit even more overcast, getting a little bit darker. We might get a little bit of drizzle. Maybe with 10 laps to go would be nice, wouldn't it? Force a few people in. In terms of a couple of you talking now about the fight for 7th best of the rest at the moment, Perez is picking up 1 point, Magnussen 2. And of course, Hulkenberg getting none. He is leading at the moment on 69 points. Thank you for subscribing, Samuel. Good to see you, mate. Welcome to the team. So, yeah, a few people gaining on him, but I think Hulkenberg's got that. And Vettel does pit. I did speculate about that a little bit earlier. He's come in, and I would assume that's super soft sent to the end. Has he got a fresh set? I didn't check that beforehand. Let me know in chat if he's got a fresh set. Is it the softs going on? It is the super soft, so he must have had a fresh set then. So yeah, Martin reckons they've just... Martin, my mate Martin. He reckons that they've done an installation lap, so they're as good as new. So he's coming out. He will come out behind Leclerc and in traffic as well, which should get out of the way. But as we've already seen today, they don't always, but I'd like to think that they would. Yeah, clouds look a bit menacing. Let's have a look at some comments. Blister on that left front of Hamilton. On the inside, so might be all right. And some Mercedes are getting ready in the pit lane. Bottas, maybe? But there's definitely a blister on Hamilton's tyre. I wonder if they might have to pit him. Verstappen not really closing in. This race was in the bag for Verstappen. And Mercedes go back in. Just reading this. Sorry, sometimes I go reading some of your comments. Verstappen purple in the middle sector, 36.6, 4 tenths quicker than Hamilton on this lap. So he's picking up the pace across the line, same time more or less. 1:12.062, Hamilton 1:12.048 for Verstappen. So he's catching him, gap 3.8. I wonder if maybe they... I don't know. I don't think Red Bull would do that. I'm just wondering if they might have said to Max, just take a few laps, get your head back, let's go again. But I don't think they'd do that. He was so much quicker at the time, wasn't he? Raikkonen quicker than the leaders just. Bottas 12.2 finding some pace. Ricciardo 12.1. Leclerc 13.2. Vettel 13.1. Bottas not happy on team radio. Being asked to hold Ricciardo. Bottas being asked to hold Ricciardo. Yes. I wonder if Valtteri Bottas is looking forward to getting this season out of the way. So Verstappen quicker again in the middle. Slower in the first sector by a tenth. 3 tenths up in the middle. That's more than 3 tenths, Sean. Losing out a little bit. So he has closed in. 3.4. 11.9 from Verstappen. We're looking at Stoffel Van Dorn and Lance Stroll going toe-to-toe into turn 1 for P16 and 17. And Van Dorn makes that stick. Good move. Here goes Ricciardo again, having another go at Bottas. He's going to have to... I think he's going to have to dive bomb this one. If Bottas has been asked to hold him up, then I can't see him getting through very easily because they'll be using all that battery power on the straight. So I wonder if he might as well just have a go. We've got a penalty for Esteban Ocon. 10-second stop-go penalty for causing a collision, I believe. So that's just been on commentary. It's not come up on screen yet, but that is a 10-second stop-go penalty for Esteban Ocon for causing that collision. And I'll reiterate, yes, Verstappen did squeeze him. There wasn't an awful lot of space there, I'll say that. But Ocon was being lapped. He was 16th place and Verstappen was a leader. And that's that one. We'll discuss it later in the stream afterwards, of course. I'm going to run through in a second, just have a look at the lap times. Just watching Vettel here having a go at Charles Leclerc. Not making it as easy as I thought he would. Just see this one out. Verstappen is catching. I'm going to fly through who's doing what and who's where in terms of those in front. So we've got any scraps further through the field as we come in towards the last 12 or 13 laps. Nope, not going to get through that. I thought Leclerc was going to jump out of the way, but he hasn't. You would, Otmar. You would disagree. You'd disagree if it was his fault or if it wasn't. That's your job as a team principal, I'm afraid. Yep. Sorry, I'm answering Crofty's question there. And there we go. Vettel is past Leclerc. Easily done. So, Lewis Hamilton leads. Last lap, 112.2 ahead of Verstappen, 3.3 back. That's a 112.3 from him. So they are pretty much matching each other at the moment. Raikkonen is matching them as well. He is 1.9 back on Verstappen. So he's still in this if he can get some pace up. Bottas 112.0. So he's quicker than those ahead of him on that last lap. He is P4. Ricciardo pretty much in that ballpark as well. He's 5th, 4 tenths behind Bottas. Just watching a replay of the Verstappen one. Yeah, that's silly from Esteban. So Bottas is just saying that 4th, Ricciardo 5th, right on the back of Bottas, might have a go into turn 1. He's having a look. Ricciardo does throw it up the inside with a classic dive bomb. Can he make it stick? Yes, he does. Just leaves Bottas enough room, squeezes him out, and Ricciardo is through and can now get on after Kimi Raikkonen. So that's Ricciardo 4th, Bottas 5th, Vettel is 6th, 111.6, so he's the quickest guy out there at the moment. On the last lap, Charles Leclerc in 7th. Really good run from him today. Really racing well. 113.8. Romain Grosjean, a 112.5. He's in 8th. Magnussen 9th. Looking very good for Haas today. What we've got, Sergio Perez looks like he's on for a point. He's 17 seconds behind Magnussen and 63 seconds off the lead. Gasly is in 11th place. 30 seconds. 30 seconds behind Perez. So he doesn't look like he's going to threaten unless Perez needs to pit, which I wouldn't have thought he'd need to. Hartley is in 12th place, 4.1 behind his teammate. Sainz 9th, 10th, 9 tenths behind Brendan Hartley. Sirotkin 20 seconds off Carlos Sainz. Van Dorn 15th, 3 tenths off Sirotkin. Stroll is 16th, 4.1 off Van Dorn. 6.5 back Esteban Ocon in 17th place. And then Fernando Alonso is last, 5.9 behind Ocon. Hulkenberg and Ericsson are the 2 that have retired at the moment. And into the pits comes Valtteri Bottas. So has he got a free pit stop in there? I think he has. Yeah, he's well enough clear of Vettel unless they have a sloppy stop. And he doesn't. It's a good stop. So out he goes. So he'll come out in front of Vettel. That's going to give him, what, 11 laps? 11 laps, really, once he gets this out lap out of the way. So 11 laps to really go for Daniel Ricciardo here. Whether he can come back at him, we shall see. But Bottas didn't really have the pace earlier on the race, did he? So, yeah, 3.3 the gap between the top 2. 11.8 on that last lap, and Hamilton did a 12 flat. So Max has still got pace. Wonder if he might need the rain here. Need to see the highlights after the race. Says Naughty Midnight. You absolutely do. It's been a really good race. Really good race. Max's car is too much damaged, I think, says Jonathan. There was some really bad floor damage to it, wasn't there? But bit of rain might level that a little bit, but he's got the pace still. He's kind of on the pace of Hamilton, but he needs to be quicker, obviously, to catch him because the gap is still 3.2 seconds. So looking at Ricciardo's pace as well. 3.1 behind Raikkonen and half a second quicker on the last lap. Remember when I said that I thought it was unlikely he'd get on the podium because he had a lot of overtaking to do? He's got a shot. He's got a shot. Now, what can Vettel do on those super softs? Fastest lap, 11.3. Catching Bottas quite nicely. Obviously, Bottas on an out lap there. Yeah. Interesting. I wonder if Vettel should be quicker on those tyres. They should run okay to the end of the race as well. He is quicker. They matched each other in the first sector more or less. Just looking at the overall lap. So 11.5 from Verstappen, 11.9 from Hamilton. First sector, 18.3 purple this time round for Hamilton. What can Verstappen do? 18.6. So he's losing in the first. I assume he's gaining in the second. That's very much Red Bull territory. Having a look. Just waiting for him to come through his middle sector now. I want to know what he's kind of gaining at. Ricardo 18.4. Ricardo 18.5. We've got Van Dorn and Sirotkin going wheel to wheel through 4. I think, yep, he's pulled that one off. Stoffel moves himself up quite nicely into 14th place. At middle sectors, 37 from Hamilton, 36.5 from Verstappen. So yeah, that's got to be so frustrating for Red Bull. Much quicker in the middle sector, but they just haven't got the pace in the first or final sector, where obviously, it's all I say that, he goes and matches him in that one, 2.6 a gap. Max is coming. He's on his way. Skills 056. Wow, has Ricciardo not broken down already? No, he's still going. He's still going. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. I will say as well, if you're a regular on the channel and you're around in the winter, at the start of the season, John T made a prediction that Charles Leclerc will get 10 points finishes this season. If he finishes where he is now, that's 9, which means it's all on the line for John T when we go to Abu Dhabi. I'll be honest, I don't think he's watching right now because he'll be watching the race, but I'm just going to say this. I'll let him off if it's only 9. In my head. I'll still give him a stick when we get to Abu Dhabi if he doesn't do it. But I'll let him off at 9 because I would never have said 9 for Leclerc. 7, 8 maybe, but 10 would be fantastic. And he's going to get 9 today if he hangs on for P7. So that'll be his 9 points finishes. I did not see that. What we got going on now. So Ricciardo's flying. 1.9 off Raikkonen, 0.6 quicker than the Finn on that lap. Under investigation for ignoring blue flags, we've got Fernando Alonso. Hypocrite. It's a joke. Hamilton's got a bit of understeer as well. We're on lap 64 or 71 for those asking. So something blocked the radiators there apparently on, I believe, Hulkenberg's car. Just caught the end of that one, so that's why they had to pit him, because of the temperatures rising. Verstappen needs to find 2.8 seconds in, what is that? 7 laps. Another one under investigation for ignoring blue flags. Was that the same message? It is a new message. Stoffel Van Dorn. So Van Dorn and Alonso both under investigation for ignoring blue flags. Ricciardo is cruising up to the back of Kimi Raikkonen. So that's 6.4 between the top 4. 33 seconds between the top 6. But if you take Vettel and Bottas' second stops out of there, that's 11 seconds-ish. 12 seconds between the top 6. So that's not bad at all, is it? Don't worry, I'm still here, just looking at timing, just randomly, just trying to... So Verstappen's within a couple of seconds here. Bottas, a 1:10.8. That is a new F1 lap record around, race lap record as well. For Bottas, a 1:10.8. So he's on his way. He's picking up the pace. Vettel 3.5 behind him. He's got 23 seconds to make up. On Daniel Ricciardo, I can't see it. But they've got Hamilton now. Hamilton's shouting blue flags down the radio, but he's going to have to wait because you've got Alonso and Stroll here scrapping. This is where it differs for me, blue flags. They're fighting. And he does get out of the way. So he jumps out of the way. Does Lance Stroll. And I would assume that means Alonso's going to have to hop out of the way as well. Is that costing him time? A bit of blistering on Alonso's rear tyre there. Quite a lot. And that blister on the left front of Hamilton's does not look good at all. As bad as it was before his first pit stop, if not slightly worse. Yeah, that is a nasty blister. Really nasty blister. Hamilton complaining about his tyres, concerned that they're running out of wear and at the temperatures, struggling with those. So he doesn't need to worry at the moment because Verstappen's not catching him quickly enough, I don't think. Oh, let's have a look. So 11.9. He's just hanging on here. Just hanging on, Hamilton. He might be all right. He might be all right. Couple of tenths here and there from Verstappen is not going to be enough. He needs a big lap. He's got 5 to go, Max Verstappen. And I would not want to be the one interviewing Max Verstappen after this Grand Prix. I can't imagine he's going to be happy at all. This race was in the bag. Five laps to go then. Who's your driver of the day, guys? I have a feeling the Red Bull boys are going to be popular with this one. I think Leclerc deserves a shout as well, by the way. For P7, driven really well and been good pace. I mean, last lap 13.5. All right, okay, he's a second off the pace of the leaders, but it's only a second. Max... Clearly Max, gap Hamilton to Max, by the way, 1.5 seconds. He's closing, but not massively. Verstappen. Ocon. Marcus Ericsson, Leclerc, Max, Danny Rick. So Hamilton hasn't cleared this traffic. It's right in his way. Is he about to try and lap Esteban Ocon, or is that Sergio Perez? It's Perez. Oh, Verstappen gets the back markers through turn 4. Ah, typical. But 1.1 was the gap, 1.5 back up to. They're going to have to jump out of the way. Ricciardo all over Kimi Räikkönen. We could end up with a double podium here. That's fine. Lottie's saying Max. Somebody's saying Danny Rick as well. Verstappen clearing... Perez, I'm sure that's Perez. Might be wrong. Might be Ocon, actually. It's a Force India. Let's see what we got. Just have a look, is there anything further down the field? There's not really. This is all about Magnussen 1.4 behind his teammate. Alonso 1.2 behind Sorokin. Ocon 1.5 behind Van Dorn. Sainz 1.1 behind Hartley. Hartley 1.2 behind Gasly, but that's not for points or anything like that. And Sorokin will jump out of the way for Danny Rick. 3 laps to go. The gap is 1.7 at the lead. I think Hamilton's got this. Kimi Räikkönen only half a second clear of Ricciardo. That is the fight. Can Danny Rick get it on the podium? Hamilton said car not turning, got no grip. Been given instructions over the radio to sort that out. That blister's nasty on that front left. But I still think he's got it. I think he's all right. 1.6, a big gap with 3 to go. It's not huge, is it? But all it takes to lock up a mistake. We've not seen anything in that respect, though, really, from Lewis Hamilton this year. So, penalty for Alonso. They're nasty. Oh, Verstappen, I tell you what, 1.4 seconds, just hang on. Just hang fire. Ricciardo right on the back of Raikkonen here. We might have, as we come across the line with 2 to go, we might have 2 Red Bulls on the brink of moves on the final lap here. 2 to go. Christoph, yeah, they do. They look like the groove tyres, don't they? They're that bad, that blister in there. I look, you know, I feel for Max in this one, but how bad's that damage affecting him? Verstappen not quick in the first. 18.6 plays 18.3, so he's 3 tenths down, but obviously middle sector you'd think would be quicker. And Ricciardo's still 6 tenths off Raikkonen. This is going to be very close. I'm just I think Hamilton's got it. I think he's got it. He's personal besting it as well. Poor last lap, 1.4 between them. Here we go, last lap. 5 seconds separates the top 4. I don't think Verstappen's going to do it unless something goes wrong with Hamilton's tyres on this final lap. Ricciardo's going to have to go for it now if he's going to go for it. Half a second to gap. It's going to be a dive bomb. He has a little look. He's too far back. It's no way. I'm going to get him a Crofty on there. I don't think we're going to get it. I can't. Oh, a little twitch there from Raikkonen, but I don't think Ricciardo's going to have to be able to do it. I don't think he can do it. He's 6/10 back. Hamilton 1.4 off. Ricciardo's having a little cheeky look around the outside there, just to try and get a good exit from this corner. He might get a run down. This could go to the line. 3/10 of gap. It's going to be Hamilton that takes the win. Across the line he comes in any second, and it is Lewis Hamilton who wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen comes home in second place. Ricciardo got a good exit out of that final corner. What can he do across the line? I think it is Raikkonen for the podium, just ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. So it's Lewis Hamilton who wins the Brazilian Grand Prix, just ahead of Max Verstappen, who was well clear of Raikkonen-ish, about 3 seconds up the road. Ricciardo right on the back of Kimi across the line. And I tell you now that Mercedes have won the 2018 Formula One Constructors' Championship, the 5th title in a row for the Silver Arrows, and the first team to achieve that since Ferrari back in 2003. 6 in a row, of course, the record for Ferrari. Bottas, just wait for him. He comes across the line. Vettel crossed the line in 6th place. Where was his pace today? Charles Leclerc, fantastic drive in 7th place. Really solid once again from him. 8th place for Romain Grosjean. 9th for Kevin Magnussen. And Sergio Perez will cross the line in 10th. Then you've got your 2 Toro Rossos, 11th and 12th. Gasly in 13th. Van Dorn down in 14th. Ocon 15th. Alonso 16th. Sorokin finished in 17th place ahead of teammate Lance Stroll in 18th. And your 2 retirees were Nico Hülkenberg and Marcus Ericsson. Can you quickly interview Max? I'd like to know what he has to say about this place. He won't be happy. Make sure you come along and join us for the debrief in about an hour and 15 minutes time. I'll be with Chainbear and Jonty. Plenty to discuss, but robbed, I think, is probably how Max Verstappen feels. Just look at Maurizio Arrivabene there. Where was Ferrari's pace? Absolutely nowhere. My Twitter notification inbox is going crazy. But yes, really surprised. I put Vettel down for the win. Really surprised. I mean, team ready for Verstappen. Mechanic says, don't know what to say. Yeah. I think that it sounded like he said, I can't find him in the paddock, otherwise he's beep. So I think Esteban Ocon needs to make a swift exit from the circuit tonight, because I've got a feeling Max Verstappen might want a word, but understandably, he's pissed off, quite frankly. I can completely understand why. I think a lot of people are not very good at all from Esteban Ocon there, and he's got a lot of fans, Esteban Ocon. I said his full name again. He's got a lot of fans. But it's a great day for Mercedes to get that Constructors' Championship done. Take nothing away from Lewis Hamilton. Yes, you can argue he looked in. Verstappen had that one in the bag, and Ocon obviously taking Verstappen out like that, that's given Hamilton the lead, and that's allowed him to go on and win it. But he still had to drive that car. He's held onto those tyres, which were shockingly bad. At the end, huge blister on that left front, and he was running second, so I think the title would have been done anyway, but to get the win, obviously the first time apparently Hamilton's won a Grand Prix after winning the title. There you go, there's a stat for you. I'm just going to go quiet for just a second. Just going to ask everyone on Twitter for their 3-word race reports. If you are on Twitter, make sure you head on over, and I will read as many out in the stream as I can. And then I'm going to put Jonty and Chamber on the spot as well for their 3-word race reports. Yeah, interesting. I'll look through the timing as well while I'm doing this. Celebrations in Brackley, understandably. Congratulations to Mercedes, well deserved. Pretty much nailed it this season, didn't they, Mercedes? I mean, we'll talk about it properly in the post-race stream, but really, what they got wrong? There were a few dodgy strategy calls early in the season. I remember Toto Wolff as we got towards the summer break, as Max Verstappen looks like he might be looking for a certain Force India driver. He won Driver of the Day, by the way, Max Verstappen. But he's not happy. Wins taken away from him. But I was just saying, I remember Toto Wolff saying that they need to stop making the mistakes in strategy, but well deserved from Mercedes. And can anyone stop them? Can Red Bull get in the mix next year for the title? Can Ferrari get it all right and finally get that title that they're so desperate for? It's going to be good next year. I know we've still got one race to go. Oh, my God. Right. Verstappen being interviewed here by Paul di Resta. Just going to listen to him, guys. Calling him an idiot. Says he has no words. Such an idiot for taking me out whilst he's being lapped. Not happy. Understandably, as I've already said. It just the Red Bull was a surprise today, and I can understand his frustration entirely. Ocon was stupid. That's that. I'm not going to change my mind on that. He was being lapped. Like I said, if Verstappen was 15th and Ocon was 16th, then you could argue Verstappen's not left in space, but he's being lapped. Just move. Not fighting for anything, but Verstappen couldn't resist a dig there on Renault, just saying we should have more power. Any opportunity. But that is the title. That's both titles done, but it's not over. There is still Abu Dhabi. Nothing on the line. Kimi Raikkonen being interviewed. Bois, I would imagine. No Bois. Oh, that's terrible. But yeah. That's it. Abu Dhabi, nothing on the line, really. The fight for best of the rest is sort of still on, but I think Hulkenberg's got that in the drivers. Good points today for Haas. What's that? 6 points. So they've closed in a little bit, but I think I'd be surprised if Renault don't. So we're sort of coming to the point now where it's all rounded off. So we'll all enjoy Abu Dhabi. One more race to go. Provided the PC hangs on, full weekend of content as well. So, yes, going to be an interesting one. Max was at fault. He closed the door. Nowhere for Ocon to go. He was a lap down, mate. Sorry, Matt. He was a lap down. I'm not going to budge on that one. If they're fighting for position, yes, Verstappen has got to take some blame in that. But Ocon should be getting out of the way when he's a lap down, not fighting the leader, which is why he got a 10-second stop-go penalty. There you go. But I am going to end it there because I need to go get ready for the... What do we call it? The cool-down room. Oh dear, it's been a weird weekend. But yeah, we're going to go get ready for the cool-down room now. I'll be live at 8 o'clock with Chamber and Jonty to go over all of our initial reactions to the Brazilian Grand Prix. I hope you enjoyed that one. A really good race. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So hopefully you guys did as well. One race weekend to go. Fingers crossed we'll have a full weekend of content as well. But I'm going to leave it there, like I say. You can follow me over on social media if you can't bear without my horrible sarcastic comments for an hour. I'm sure you'll manage. But we'll be live in an hour's time. So don't forget to follow me over on social media. Links to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook and to Discord are all in the description down below. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean. This has been the F1 Word. And until next time, goodbye.